Welcome to our MCAN project heart rate monitor. So first I'll be starting with what is a heart rate monitor. So heart rate is monitor is a personal monitoring device that allows one to measure the heart rate in real time or record the heart rate for later purposes. So the modern heart rate monitors can use two types of methods. One is electrical, the other is optical. Now the main purpose of building a heart rate monitor was so that we can give the user a cheap alternative to smartwatches, and it is a way for user to get keep a check on their health and make sure that they know what is their uh, limitations while exercising. Now this app can be used by those who just started exercising and don't know how much they should exert. So it's basically giving them an idea that they should only do a certain types of exercises and up to a certain limit. It also gives people day to day, people who like to keep their vitals check. So it gives a good alternative for smartwatches as it is free, or it's a free app, and it's and you don't need any extra kind of equipments for it. So I already told you that there are two types of methods. One is electrical and optical. So here we are using an optical way of calculating the heart rate. So basically what happens in this method is that the flashlight of our phone is flashed on our fingers, and within the fingers there are blood vessels which contract and expand while breathing. So basically when we flash, the light bounces off of the blood vessels and goes into our camera. Within the camera we take that photo or we can say the video, and we calculate in each frame how much the blood vessels contract in what time interval basically. So once that can be calculated in that particular time interval, and we can calculate it for beats per minute. So now I'll be explaining you the program which we wrote in Android Studio. So first I'll be telling you how are we processing the image. So basically we're using a preview callback function in Android Studio. Now that function gives us a different kind of format of image. So basically we have, for video formats we have MP4, AVI format, and different types of format. Over here we have YUV 420 SP. It's a very different kind of format which uses a YUV format. So in here Y means luminance and UV means XY axis. So it's a different type of format, so that you have to convert to RGB format. So over here this is basically the algorithm which is used to convert YUV format to RGB format. So it's a basic it's a algorithm which is given by the Android Studio itself. And then for our specific program, we're calculating the red pixels. So once it is converted to RGB, the pixel value is always represented as a hexadecimal value. Then it's RGB. So the first two hexadecimal values are for red, next two for green, next two for blue. So by this method, by ANDing it with 0xFF, we are only taking the red values of the pixel. After that, we are adding it to the sum, and that sum is given back to the red average, and that average is taken out for the whole frame size. So in short, we get a we get a frame from the camera, from the video, then it's sent to decode the convert YUV format to RGB, and that RGB format we extract the red value, we take the whole red values sum in the whole frame, and then we basically take the average of the frames of the red value in the frame.
So hey guys, this is Raj Doshi, and now let's take a look at the code as displayed in the theme and the results accordingly. In the main activity Java, we can see the packages are imported in this main activity which takes place in the beginning, and from this we can link or move to the different classes as we run the function and start the new activity moving on to the heart rate activity.java class. Now, let's take a look at the heart rate activity.java. In heart rate activity, we can see these are the following packages that are imported for the current file. It includes the layout structure for the application, as we can see the view log, view menu, view text, etc. and much more. Now, moving on, we can see the title is set to heart rate in our application, and now the integers, view pages and tab layout are used respectively to open the pages of the layout accordingly. The following consist of the home tab, so when it is selected, the trend tab will be hidden accordingly. Now here the following function of show tab function says the button at the bottom in the application help us to measure the heart rate if we just click on it. Now moving at the bottom, we can see just the titles are assigned accordingly in the switch case function. So the switch case one says the heart rate while the second one says the trend, and so on accordingly. Now let's take a look at the code for the result activity.java. The following packages that are imported for the current file are shown here. Here we have made a public class of resultActivity.java that extends app compatibility and implements the database and the heart rate constant. The beats per minute, expected minimum value, expected max value, minimum value, max value, user status ID are the following integers used for the calculation accordingly. Here, the default values such as minimum value is set to 40, max value is set to 120, expected minimum value is 61, and the expected max value are 76. So now, here we can see the save button. When we click, it just calls the save result function, so where the result is, and it returns the true value back to the function. Now, moving on to the save result function, we can also see the values are added to the database values. In the function set heart rate view item function, we can see the results are added accordingly to the range and shown on the screen of the app, where the average percentage is calculated accordingly.
Now let's take a look at the demo section here. At the top we have set the title to measuring your heart rate, and at the bottom we have set it to stop. So this is the layout which we have created in the Android Studio, which displays in the app. So whenever we turn on the app, what happens is this flashlight turns on automatically, as we can see here. What we have to do is just keep our finger and cover the camera section. As we do that, we can see the beats per minute is calculated accordingly, and the graph is shown at the bottom due to the differences in the increase and decrease of the beats per minute. So now this is the result layout which we have created in the Android Studio. It consists of the save button at the top. Now here we can see that 62 beats per minute is our result which we got from detecting and by keeping the finger on the camera section. So this is the average range which we can see here, that is 61 to 76, that is the resting range. We can choose our status accordingly. So now if we click on after exercise, if we have calculated the heartbeat after the exercise, we can see the average range after exercise should be between 80 to 120, and ours is 62, which is quite less. If we are tired and we calculate the heartbeat per minute, we can see that the average tired range is between 61 to 76 and ours is 62, so that's average, or that comes between the average range. And similarly, in case of excited, we can see the range exists from 70 to 100. Now we have also added some notes layout here, in which we can type something, or we can keep a note of what we have done, or for how much hours or how much minutes we have done the exercise, and we have calculated the heart rate and much more. Here is the save button which we can see at the top, and through which if we click on it, we'll just see another range or graphs which we can tell us the differences between the previous results and also the today's result.
Now that you have recorded the heart rate, you can go to trending section and see all the heart rate activity you have done so far. So for today I have recorded these two activities, and I can see the maximum and minimum value, and we can see the average value. In the graph we can see the average value as well. For different days we can click on the graph and check on different days, and we can go behind in different weeks as well. The future scope for this can be, there are many ideas that we have. For first, we can convert this heart monitoring app to a full-fledged fitness app with more functionalities. We can connect it with smartwatches. We can make the UI more user friendly and give the user much more a personal experience, and give the user a daily report of basically how was the heart rate yesterday, how it is compared to today, etc. So I hope you liked it. Thank you.